People underestimate the power of nostalgia. Nostalgia is truly one of the great human weaknesses. Second only to the neck.
What's going on, guys? My name is Al De Niro, and welcome to episode 108 of the Midnight Hour. Today I am joined by Jack Brown and Loosemore for a little bit of nostalgia, and we're going to be talking about this thread on the internet. You'll hear more about it in the episode, but basically it's about secrets that if they got out, they would ruin your life, and there's some very, very juicy information, and this is actually a really good episode. If I do say so myself, I think the three of us after we recorded were like, yeah, that was really good. And it felt really good to record with those guys again, so hopefully you guys enjoy it, because I know a lot of you guys particularly enjoy when Jack and Loosemore are on the show. So that's where we are. Other than that, I just wanted to say thanks for all the support and all of that stuff. There has been a Midnight Hour every single week in 2018, so I'm really hoping I can keep that going for as long as I possibly can. I've been working really hard, making lots and lots of podcasts, just doing lots of recording over the last while. So if you guys like wrestling and you like listening to me talk in podcasts, why don't you check out my wrestling podcast? That will also be linked in the description, and the next episode we have going up is a review of WrestleMania 18 from way back in the day. We've also uploaded a review of the 2018 Royal Rumble and some other current stuff as well, so check that out. I'll leave the link in the description to the YouTube channel and to the podcast itself, or you can just go on iTunes and type in What Wrestling Podcast. It's got a beautiful purple logo with a gold W with the P sticking out the side of it, and to be honest, the logo is one of the best things about the show. It's just an absolutely beautiful logo, and the Midnight Hour logo is also beautiful, so that's great. Other than that, you can find links to the subreddit, to the merch, all of that stuff in the description, where I usually put like 65 links. There will also be links to Jack and Loosemore's Twitter feed, so go click that, give them a follow, and yeah, other than that, I guess there's probably no need for me to even talk to you at the end. After the song closes the show, you'll hear a little bit of the pre-show like I usually do when it's with Jack and Loosemore. So, yeah, I don't know. Just in the name of nostalgia, may you enjoy this podcast. I'll talk to you guys later.
Power in the verse can stop me.
What's going on, guys? My name is Al Hagaroy, and welcome to episode 108 of the Man Sprite Owl.
What's Hagaroid?
I don't know, I was just trying to write like a bastardized version of my name, and I think Al Hagariod does just that. Sounds very Welsh, doesn't it?
Sounds like your FIFA name.
El Bogdadley.
Yeah.
And the famous Man Sprite Owl podcast.
That's what we should call it, to be fair. That's a way better name.
The Man Sprite Owl 108. Yeah. It's
Is it
a really
108?
catchy name. Yeah, 108, yeah.
Okay, now.
It's
the oldest podcast in the world.
Yeah. It's just undeniable.
So how was your Valentine's Days?
Oh, I was playing Fortnite.
Were you, yeah?
As I do every single night. Apart from tonight.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
I don't.
Do you you want to explain to the listeners that that's why I can't get you on the show more often?
You don't ask me much anymore.
Yeah, because whenever I do, I always feel like I'm, asking you to, watch a man masturbate or something. It's, really hard to get you to do it.
It's not hard to get me to do it. Sometimes I'm busy, sometimes I'm not.
Yeah, well, wouldn't kill you to say it once in a
You
while.
asked me last week and I was playing football.
That's true, yeah. Yeah,
the time before, we were ready to do it, and then you had some nonce viewing your flat.
Oh yeah, that was a fucking bad time. That guy actually ended up moving in, and
that being a nonce.
I don't know. Yeah, this guy that he's fucking just an absolute simpleton. and in ways that he's bad at things that I didn't know people could be bad at. It's really fucking weird. I'm always talking to the landlord about how ridiculous this man is, but I don't want to say too much because he's in the room next to me.
And this is Gary. Say hello, Gary.
Yeah.
Second name Glitter.
Yeah, he's always ordering Vietnamese food. Anyway, so how was your Valentine's Day, Loosemore?
What did I do yesterday? I mean, yesterday. What day is it today? Thursday.
Today's
Wednesday.
Thursday.
What did I do yesterday? I went to work. Came back.
God, this sounds like you're about to kill yourself.
Well, I mean, it's a
Like-
tough time, Jack. I mean,
Tried to
Valentine's
hang
Day.
myself.
The fucking amount of people walking around town with like a bouquet of flowers in there. When I say people, I mean men. The amount of men coming out of a newsagent with flowers, thinking they're great. Gonna go
Yeah,
and give
I know,
these to my
yeah.
bud.
Yeah, but there's the ones where like there was a bloke come out of work yesterday. I see him, and the flowers didn't even look good. Like, I mean, just you've got to, like, at least if you're gonna go for that shit and be like, just buy some proper flowers, or at least don't do it and say like they ran out or something. Don't just buy shit ones.
I prefer to treat my women like shit all year round.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what like.
Don't take a day off. That's what I say.
My girlfriend tried to remind me of Valentine's Day like 4 times, and I genuinely, like, I'm not saying this to sound cool, I genuinely just did not fucking know it was Valentine's Day, and every time she asked, I only got more confused. Like, I couldn't fucking orient myself around this day where you're supposed to buy oversized cards and shit. And
I was more aware of Pancake Day than I was.
Yeah,
Valentine's
I've
Day.
got a question. Has Pancake Day always been the day before Valentine's Day?
No, isn't
No.
it the second Tuesday of February or something like that? Or
Easter is the only holiday that's determined by the fucking spring equinox, so it depends on where the stars are in the sky and all of that shit. So it's not at a fixed time every year. So there you have it.
that makes sense because it's not always like beginning of April or end of April, or something, isn't it?
Right, yeah, we've had like ridiculously early Easters as well, because this one is mad early. No, like fucking, we're in the middle of Lent now. Well, not in the middle. We've just started Lent now. This is very early
Yeah.
for Lent, which means that Easter Sunday is
It's
going to be.
April the 1st, it's Good Friday.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a Good
Is it? No,
Friday
some-
video
oh,
and
well,
an April
that
Fool's
doesn't
Day
make sense.
video.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, March the 30th. It's Good Friday.
That's deadly. So I've got Paddy's Day, and then the weekend, like 2 weekends after, I got a 4-day weekend.
What day is Pat? 19th or something?
The 17th, yeah. I love
Oh,
Christianity.
you get the 19th off.
Yeah, because that's a
It's a
Monday
Saturday.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just comes from
So I get a 3-day weekend, and then 2 weeks later I get a 4-day weekend. That's pretty much ideal.
Good. Can you drink in Good Friday now?
I think they're after passing that. Yeah, it's I'm telling you.
Why didn't they do it? Because it was supposed to be religious.
Yeah, because of Jesus or whatever.
He can be a prick sometimes. can't he?
It's so fucking ridiculous though. The law was like you could drink if you were on a train, or you could drink if you were
Obviously.
if you were at some like national event. So obviously whoever puts on a national event that day, like, they fucking rake it in. But like me and my cousin, my cousin Jack that you met, he came up to me on Good Friday once, and we were like, oh, it's gonna be grand, but like we're not gonna drink. Like, and he was here about 5 minutes, and we were like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Just two of us gazing out the window helplessly. So
Do you not just like if they say they don't, it's to not sell it or something, isn't it? Do they not think that everyone's just going to get it the day before, get a load of cans in, and just save them up for tomorrow? Like?
Yeah, the shelves do be barren like the day before. Like, people go in and buy everything like on Thursday night. It's mad. But it's like that just encourages you to drink more. Do you know what I mean? Like,
So there's
Yeah,
not
being
like,
told I
loads of
can't do
people
something.
rushing to trains. Like
that's what we did. We
it's-
we got on the train. Yeah, it's good.
Being told I can't do something makes me want to do it more.
Yeah, it's like I know you have this law in the UK, but you don't enforce it that well. But you can't buy any alcohol from an off license after 10 p.m. So when it's like
The amount I've bought loads of alcohol after 10 p.m.
it's definitely not a thing in London. Like there's just so many shops in London that just sell regardless. But it is actually against the law. But
I'd imagine they do it in places but I live next door to a Tesco's, like 24 hour, and I can get it anytime I want.
that's mad because that's literally
Yeah.
against the law.
Yeah. But I don't think that is.
No,
Sometimes
that can't
I
be
think
a law.
sometimes I think they don't do it in the morning.
Supermarkets break it all the time.
A lot of them don't sell before 10.
Yeah.
Like, I was on a stag do a few months ago. We went to a pub about 9 in the morning. It's like one of the Wetherspoons ones. And you can't buy alcohol before 10 or half 10 or something.
I mean, man, that makes sense.
It doesn't really because they stopped
Time.
some poor woman in Scotland was like trying to buy fucking pancake mix that had a little bit of alcohol in it or something. You can't buy a box of chocolate liqueurs. I don't know. There's some shit that you use in the kitchen that has alcohol in it. I don't know, vinegar or something.
I would not have vinegar on my pancakes. I didn't even have pancakes.
Yeah, I didn't have pancakes either.
I had a pancake.
Did you?
One pancake.
Whoa,
That's all I could manage.
Your microphone is falling into your fan. Ah!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't-
Pretend that didn't happen.
Alright, so, our topic today is what... Let me ask you guys, what is one secret that if it got out, it would ruin your life?
Oh, I hate podcasts.
Oh, yeah. So,
I
yeah.
listen to so many nowadays.
Dear, what are you listening to at the moment?
What am I listening to at the moment? Good question. I'm not going to go through to it because it would take ages.
Sounds like a lot of podcasts, man.
I'm probably subscribed to like 30 or something.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to
Fucking
about
hell.
30 as well.
There's some in there like Serial and that only come out once a year or something.
I have never listened to Serial.
Oh, right. It's not like the best thing ever, best podcast ever made that they make out.
Hmm.
The first series is good.
How does it compare with, like... How does the podcast Serial compare with the concept of breakfast cereal?
That's a
Well,
tough
there's
question.
so much variety in breakfast cereal, whereas in a podcast serial, you get one subject over 12 episodes.
That's
But
true.
with breakfast, you can have a Weetabix one day, chocolate craves the next day, and then have a bit of beans on toast the morning after.
Mm.
I
Should
don't
we just
know
talk
what
about
you want.
breakfast from now on?
Hold on. Beans on toast is not a breakfast cereal.
I call it breakfast.
Okay, yeah.
It's definitely not a cereal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to chop it up into little bits and put milk on it.
Oh,
Milk and bread.
yeah. Bit of Special K doesn't go amiss either. I like
That's
eating...
so boring though.
I really like Special K, right? But this is in line with the topic because this is a secret that could ruin my life. Every single time I come back from the shop with Special K, I put it up on the counter and I go, fuck, I bought Special K. Meant to buy Cheerios. Because, like, Special K is a woman's cereal.
Oh, God, that's such great banter.
Yeah. Remember the...
I can't have healthy cereal without a load of sugar on it. So Weetabix, I put honey on Weetabix. I put quite a lot on. So whatever health I'm getting from Weetabix, I'm losing in honey.
I don't really like Weetabix.
It's bland on its own.
It all stems from the fact that I don't really like milk, so...
Do you not?
Nah, I don't like any thick, liquidy shit at all.
What a milkshake.
No, hate them.
I should have known that was the answer.
Hate hot chocolate and... yeah, lots of other stuff.
What about when like ice cream gets really warm?
Yeah, I don't
Is that-
like that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone likes that, though.
Yeah, but like there's that like that Mr. Whippy like that's like not warm ice cream, but like I'm trying to think of a better word, like not hard.
Yeah, like when the McFlurry is at the very, very bottom and you have to keep stirring it. Yeah, I'm not really that into that either.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't eat as much shit as I used to, though. I still eat shit, just not as much as I used to.
Yeah, you used to get Domino's literally every single night.
I used to get I get it twice a week, usually.
At least.
But because with the deal I've got two larges, I'd have one large one night and have the other large the night after. So I was having Domino's pizza for dinner like four times.
Four times a week.
Nice.
That's insane.
It was a good
Would
deal.
you change it up? Would you have two different pizzas?
No.
Like no, you'd have the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
How do
I
you
knew
keep
that.
all the weight off?
Narcotics.
I knew that was the answer.
You knew what the answer was.
Yeah, because I've gained like a fucking ton of weight since I stopped doing drugs, and it's just, yeah.
Shit, innit?
Yeah, it's fucking rotten. I feel horrible about myself, and like I'm eating really fucking healthy. Like I'm getting all that fiber and protein and all of that like good stuff. And I buy more vegetables than I even knew existed like a year ago, and I still have a fucking fat cunt. I'm really like I look really skinny to look at, so I'm lucky. But yeah,
It's something where, like, as soon as I get told I should do something, I automatically don't want to do it.
yeah, same.
Even stuff that's good for me, I don't want to do it because some person told me to.
Yeah.
I'm my own man.
Yeah.
You
Good for
fight
you,
the
Jack.
power, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to actually say, Jack, remember we used to do the Dear Jack segment? Well, I have a question for you today. How do we stop school shootings in America?
Oh, give the teachers guns.
There we go.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you have it.
Oh, solved it.
Why have we not thought of that? That's actually legal in
make
Texas.
me president.
They passed a law in Texas a few months ago maybe, where you're now allowed to bring firearms to school in Texas, so that's good.
That's healthy.
I guess give the teachers guns is like a perfect right-wing conservative answer, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
everyone should have
Some other
guns.
people saying like, if there's unemployed like veterans about people who've been in the army who don't have a job, give them a gun and tell them to protect the school. It's like, yeah, because these people don't get PTSD and go mental sometimes, do they?
Yeah.
It's funny, like the way it's like, in the land of the knife, the gun is the king. So you just give the police guns and have citizens only have knives, and like, so they obviously did that for a while in like the West, and then eventually America were like, all right, we're going to make an entire country based around guns, so everyone's going to have guns. So now the police have guns, the citizens have guns. So now the police have fucking tanks and fucking armored Humvees with chain guns strapped to the top of them and stuff. So like, it's only a matter of time before people are allowed to go around using them, and then the police in America will subsequently have to have like fucking drones and Metal Gear Ray nuclear equipped.
I guess
walking
it'll
back.
be like it'll be a problem when it won't be mass school shootings. It'll be mass school bazookerings or something like that. Like
I
a
think
guy just
that-
went into a school with a grenade launcher. or
Yeah,
something.
well,
Like
it says the right to bear arms, right? Like, fucking nuclear weapons are arms, so just give them those.
Yeah.
With American politics, there's also two sides to everything, and both sides exaggerate so much.
I know.
Like on the other side of it, like they say, there's been 18 school shootings this year, but someone you look into it, and one of them was someone shot a BB gun at a school bus.
Yeah, it's true. Like, we, the three of us in particular, like, we've been guilty of spouting all sorts of fucking nonsense about
Speak for
guns.
yourself.
But like, it's like we don't know what we're talking about either. Like, the NRA, there's like not a single member of the NRA has ever been involved in a mass shooting or something. There's some insane stat like that about the NRA. Like, they're for like the dirtiest company.
Oh, they're up there with all the fucking all the drug firms in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But-
pharmaceutical companies.
But all their
yeah.
members are squeaky clean, like crazy shit. Anyway, should we get onto this topic before we ruin our lives with things that aren't even secrets? So,
Yes.
today's topic, you guys, is a 5-year-old thread from the website Reddit.
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 It's Reddit, yeah.
And the subject of this thread is throwaway time, which means you have to throw something out of your moving car. It's a Reddit thing.
I chose a child.
Yeah. No, I said that because Loosemore doesn't know how Reddit works, so we can just keep fucking with him for the rest of the show, and it'll be really funny. So throwaway means create a throwaway account. So that for anyone wondering, like, oh, all these sound fake, they're all made from accounts that people have made for the sole purpose of posting here. And then the question is, what's your secret that could literally ruin your life if it came out? And the person who created the fucking thread has posted theirs, but it's actually behind some kind of weird hosting service password thing. So
I think for ages this was the most voted thread on Reddit.
it's my favorite like thread that I've ever read through.
Because I could go, you can still, like, people still answer every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll read through the most juicy things in here, or to be more realistic, the things that we see first, because we're not going to do any real heavy lifting here. And then we'll talk about it. So
I like the one with the bloke who sold his home to help his business stay afloat, and then he built a bunker on it before he sold it, and he's been living underneath it for the last 7 years.
yeah, that one's great. He says the entrance to it is well hidden, and he comes and goes very early or late, very early in the day, and then he arrives home very late in the day. And
I love that.
He says, "I'm a single man who keeps to himself, and I'm now in a situation where I could move somewhere else, but I love this hidden paradise so much."
I like the idea of living in a bunker.
Yeah, but isn't that just like those doomsday prepper people? Like, that's close to that, isn't it? Like, he's probably in there with beans that have been in there for like 10 years.
No,
You know?
I reckon it's a very normal house. Very, like, inside it's very normal, but it's just hidden.
You're telling me there's not like 3 AK-47s on the wall in that bunker?
The word bunker does immediately imply weaponry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm.
It's
I don't mind.
I've seen that Doomsday Preppers show. It's fucking nuts, the things that people are doing to, live out their fantasy or whatever. But I don't. 800 square feet. How big is that? Anyone know anything about the metric system?
That's not
Not that
massive.
much.
It's not
No,
even metric.
not that much.
It's literally not
It's-
even metric.
Well, it's hard to say. Like, if you look at your bedroom, like, if you go how far across it is, like, my bedroom's probably 12 foot across, and probably the same. So it's like 12 times 12, it's 144. So it's like maybe 5 of that.
That's fairly big.
Yeah, I think. Well,
So
if you
that's
had like an
five-
800 square foot apartment, that'd be quite a small apartment. That's what I'd say.
It's like 5 lots of a normal bed, because my bedroom's quite a normal size, probably 5 lots of that. Which, in terms of a house, isn't big.
No.
It's big enough.
It's bigger than a flat, but it's not as big as a house.
Yeah.
It's bigger than one, probably a little bit smaller, or maybe a little bit bigger than one floor of a house.
Yeah. What I'm interested in is like, what does this bloke have any ambitions at all? Like, say he meets a girl, what's he? Oh yeah, come back to
Yeah.
my bunker that I'm squatting in.
Yeah, if he goes, "Can I come back to my house?" and then they go up, and she tries to walk to the front door, and he sort of grabs her and pulls her, lifts a branch up, and all of a sudden the front door's there.
Yeah.
Also, it's
Then he has
really
to kill her, doesn't he?
it's really fucking creepy imagining being the other people, like the people who bought the house.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
matter
true.
being them.
Yeah, like if
Well,
you-
what they don't know means nothing, does it?
yeah, but would you like the idea of some fucking weird?
Well, no, but when they find out, they'll kick him out. But they don't know, so what's the harm?
But like, would you not feel a little bit of trauma after he's gone and you're lying in your bed and you're like, how long was he there? What does he know? Has he seen?
Yeah. What has he seen?
Yeah. No.
No, I can't. I just think what I don't know doesn't matter. So
Well, what's amazing is Jack doesn't know is I'm living in a bunker right now next to his house.
well, I'm in a block of flats.
Damn it.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
you can have a bunker in a block of flats.
I'm on the 3rd floor, so unless you're on the 2 beneath me, then which technically aren't bunkers.
Are you still living in that flat?
Yeah.
Right. You're living the high life, aren't you?
I am a bit. It's handy.
I like the post from a guy called Fucking Insane who says, "Please tell me most of you have masturbated to your female friends."
All right. Everyone has, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's like a natural like teenage thing, isn't it? And then it just never goes away.
Mine went away quite a while ago. Like, what is? What? Wow.
That's funny.
I think breathing is like a natural infant thing. It never goes away. Oh man.
I like the one that goes, I don't want to be with my girlfriend anymore, but she might have cancer and I feel like I need to stay in a relationship.
Yeah, it might.
That is horrible.
Do you know what I was thinking about? Do you know the false alarm they had in Hawaii recently with they got like an emergency broadcast on all
Ballistic missile
systems.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a ballistic missile head, and you've got like 7
Wasn't there the one guy that proposed or something? Or he told someone he loved them and they said no.
I don't know, probably.
Oh, there was someone who he said, this boy told me he loved me, and she says, I love you back, I love you too, because she didn't want him to feel bad in his last couple of minutes or something, and then they didn't die.
I was thinking that a lot of people would have thought to themselves in that moment, like, gee, I don't really care if this bitch lives or dies. And then, when they found out they were safe, they were like, Tanya, it's not working out. Goodbye.
It's not working out. Nearly died a couple of minutes ago, so...
There should,
I'd have if I got that message, you just sort of... you wouldn't know how to react, would you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I would just carry on like normal and assume it's not really happening. Because even if it is happening...
You think like you'd know.
Yeah. But like there's nothing you can fucking do.
As much as like whatever's going on in North Korea is going on in North Korea, I still think we're so far away from it actually escalating something bad that I just don't think it will happen.
If a fucking intercontinental nuclear bomb lands in your town, like, it doesn't matter if you're inside or outside.
I can't wait to die.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I speak for us all there.
I feel like that could be the tagline of the podcast, really.
I do, so I forget, like, sometimes that Twitter isn't real life. Like, saying you want to die is quite funny on Twitter. But like, when you don't do it, it's not as funny.
Yeah, I think because when you say it, like, words come out of your mouth, it's less funny than when you type words. I think that's how it works. Yeah.
No, but even if you said that on Facebook, it wouldn't be funny. You'd get like, "Are you okay, hon?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like you
Facebook
put
is really not
for
funny.
a drink and then you put a picture of a bottle of bleach up. Put it on Facebook. Your nan's gonna call your mum. Put it on Twitter, you'll get a couple of likes. So.
Yeah.
I do everything for the likes.
I don't tweet anymore, really.
Only about West Ham.
Yeah, generally about West Ham. I still hate them as much as I always have.
What is it about them?
Because all my mates support them.
You know what I
mean? When all your mates support, like, you want to hate it, don't you?
Yeah, all my fucking my entire country supports Man United, and like they just don't fucking understand how easy they've had it for like their entire lives supporting Man United.
Try realistically supporting QPR, it's shit. But and these people who support Arsenal are like, oh, we're only 5th or 6th this year, so give it a rest. You don't support Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
There's one lad in my group of friends that supports Aston Villa, and when they got relegated, he was gutted. And one of the lads goes, "I know, man. Like I think of that season where United didn't even win a trophy." It's like, shut your fucking mouth. You like, oh my god, the amount of privilege that has to go into like, winning trophy. We didn't even win a trophy that year. It was horrible. Like,
Twitter is so good for like these things that go on for like. You just come out of nowhere, like like this Fiat 500 Twitter. Have you heard of it?
No, I actually haven't.
No, it's just about like girls' Twitter accounts, and the shit they talk about makeup and hair and that. And like someone goes, I did retweet it about Kylie Jenner's baby. Did you see that?
No.
Because Kylie Jenner had a baby, didn't she?
She did.
She goes, there's a tweet saying, oh, here we go, Fiat 500 Twitter is in meltdown about Kylie Jenner's baby. Engines being revved, Chinese being ordered, Sophie's even gone to get on a Tango Ice Blast to celebrate. Like, that has become this whole thing on Twitter, and that's hilarious.
I love the format where it's like, one of them I saw was like, Harry Kane has 6 goals in 4 Champions League games. Meanwhile, your dad, divorced, doesn't rate him because of a free kick against Iceland.
I've gone over the Yadar ones, Yadar, whatever it is.
Your dad, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny a couple of times, but that's a bit. And Scottish people swear like that was funny, but now it's just like people trying to misspell things on purpose because they think it's funny.
The thing is, though, right? People in Scotland literally write like that, like that, like it's fucking mad. Like when I went up, yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either because you don't understand. Like they don't say why, or if you say like, "Oh, I did this," and they want to know why, they don't say why. They say how. So I start explaining how, and they're like, "No, but like how?" And I'm like, "Fucking speak English."
Like they know what the word is because they're typing out. And sometimes it's like one letter shorter, like a shorter word. They're obviously trying to save time in the typing. It's one letter shorter. Speak in fucking normal speak. Normal word.
Speak in fucking normal.
It's like when I text my dad, he won't say you, as in me. He'll say the letter U.
Yeah.
And I don't like him. It's the most annoying thing though. People use text speak. It does my fucking head in.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying. So speaking of that, I'll go ahead and read the next one with 3,000 points and the juicy headline of "I accidentally killed 7 people."
Fucking hell.
I put a rag into a new water heater exhaust to keep debris out and installed it in a rental. I get a call a week later. There's been an accident. I show up and there's tons of EMs? Emergency meds and police. They ask me where the gas shutoff is, and I go down to shut the gas off and see the end of the rag I forgot sticking out of the top of the heater. Rip the rag out, shut off the gas, and head upstairs, only to be told all the tenants were dead. Capital dead. I drink all day now and sleep. It's killing me from the inside every single day, but if I say anything, my family is ruined. We have a bunch of rental properties and we'd be shut down.
I mean, that is absolutely mad now.
Yeah.
You
can't blame someone for like starting drinking and all that after, because like, how do you cope with what you've done? Like,
do you think it's real though?
I think it is, just because I think it's so not thorough as such, but it's so real. I don't know.
I really think someone I think someone on the internet would have unearthed the story of the atrocity.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's the thing about like the internet. You can sometimes you can't get away with lying nowadays.
Yeah, like you're talking about 7 deaths. Like
yeah,
surely
so there's go on Google and type in 7 deaths in.
Yeah, there would have been some report, even if it was like a local news station or something would have like reported about it. Yeah.
But I also think that maybe it's one of the ones where they've seen it written somewhere else on the internet and they've just copied it for themselves.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I remember like when I read that for the first time, I was like, that's really fucking dark. I think I was in Nep's house at the time, and I think it was you that linked me this thread, Jack. But like I was going through it and all, and that one like really fucking hit me. And when I look at it now, I'm like, I don't actually believe that one.
I think I do believe it, but I don't know. I just feel like it's something that could happen. Like a lot of these, like when you get someone like that, there's always something in there. It's like, oh, why would you do that in the first place? Doesn't make sense to do that, so this didn't happen. But I just think that sort of thing can happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. You kill someone, you drink. Get over it. That's another one of the rules on the side of Reddit.
Yeah. Is that second behind be nice to women?
I'd put it just below.
Yeah.
So real, you know Jordan Peterson. He's got this book, 12 Rules for Life. I think we should have a Jack Brown 12 Rules for Life. Number 1, be nice to women. Number 2, if you kill someone, just drink and shut up about it.
Get over it. That's like I always like whenever people have like not mental health issues such, say like, oh, I can't stop drinking. I say, I'll just stop drinking. Just don't wake up and don't drink. Don't think it's that easy.
No, I'd say it is.
That's what I think. Like, how hard is it? But I don't know, so I'm not gonna. I did just query it, but I'm not gonna query it any further.
That is one of your mantras. Thought about it. Not gonna think about it anymore.
I feel like that should be your Twitter, but that should be your Twitter bio.
Oh, that's right though, because if you don't like think about it, you just stop, don't you?
Oh my god, your brain works so differently to mine. If I don't like something, it is the only thing that I think about for the next eternity. Like, all I fucking do is talk about the things that I don't like. I fucking seek out things that I don't like just so I can talk about how much
think
I don't
about
like
it
them.
further.
Yeah, it's, you know that fucking Stefan Molyneux guy? Dieter, you know him?
No.
No.
Right, well, he's this fucking absolute psychopath who's like a philosopher and, like, by all accounts seems like a very friendly, very bright man, but there's no light behind his eyes. And he, like, I don't know, he's just a fucking lunatic, and he takes about 20 sentences to say a really basic entry-level philosophical point, and it's infuriating. And he says all types of insane things that no one seems to pick up on, and it's like, it's really, really weird. He's got this video, it's an hour and 45 minutes long. It's called The Truth About Robin Williams, and it's him...
Do you watch it just to get annoyed by it?
You know what, with Stefan Molyneux, I've come to a point where I just consume his content ironically. So I listen to it and like I laugh. Like, I'm in a much better mental place than I was, a few months ago. But yeah, I used to watch it to get angry at it. I don't anymore. But like, this video is like an hour and 45 minutes of him talking about how Robin Williams killed himself because his ex-wife wanted alimony, right? And it's like, it's complete bullshit. He's just made this up because he has a lot of like weird like anti-female sentiment in his videos. And oh, by the way, there's a guy, member of the alt-right, subscribed to me and listens to every single thing that I do, so I expect to see him in the comment section, so that'll be fun.
Oh God.
He appeared in one of my videos and he left a comment and it just said cook.
But he's
Nothing
subscribed
else.
though. Like,
He's got his
amazing.
point across.
Yeah, he's got me
made
there.
Made a good counter argument.
But it's my favorite thing is calling someone a cook, because like it's so it's like, yeah, you want to take our guns away? I bet you like watching your wife getting fucked by black men.
Like,
yeah, there is
I
a
have no
correlation. I
problem
see
with
it.
being-
Yeah.
I've never had any problem with people being like conservative, having their own sort of political views, but some people just get so, it's like the Donald on Twitter. Some people are just so like brainwashed about it that the stuff they come out with is so bizarre.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
know.
it's hilarious.
Dude, fucking the big man himself, Stefan M, as I'll call him. He tweeted this thing yesterday. I don't follow him. I purposely sought out his Twitter. I was like, what's this prick up to nowadays? And he tweeted out this thing, and it was like, oh, a study shows that a certain percentage of women fantasize about rape. Like, I don't know if you guys know that. That's actually a really common thing. That's like the number one fantasy amongst women when it comes to taboo stuff, is that they fantasize about being raped. So he just posted that with no fucking context, very obviously trying to imply like, look at this. Turns out that women might actually... And the fucking replies he got. The people following this guy. One person was like, I bet you if they dug deeper into... Wait till you hear this. I bet you if they dug deeper into that study, they'd find that most of the women that fantasize about being raped are liberals.
Fucking hell. They're just... I don't know.
But it's so, like... Yeah, if you're a liberal, it means you like watching your significant other getting fucked, or it means you like being fucked. Like, it's all to do with like this weird like pseudo-sexual analysis of your preferences in the bed. It's fucking like, it's crazy. We live in the stupidest fucking time. You know?
Like, everything about the world is stupid at the moment, but
It's ridiculous.
like,
yeah.
as a country, like like United Kingdom, we're no better than fucking America is.
Well, no, you've got Boris Johnson as your fucking international minister for fucking culture or whatever, foreign minister or whatever the fuck he is.
Tommy Robinson has a genuine following in this country, and like, we think you're a good country. It's like fucking madness.
Yeah, good old Tommy, huh? I will say this about Tommy Robinson, right? Absolute prick, don't like him at all. But that interview he did with Piers Morgan only fucking served to make him look greater than he is.
I could take a shit and have Piers Morgan interview that, and it would come off better than he would.
It was the most
Piers
bizarre
Morgan
thing.
would.
Like, Tommy Robinson picked up the Quran. He was like, "I want to read something from this book, all right?" And Piers Morgan was like, "Put that book down and show some respect."
Piers
you.
Morgan got him on there. He wanted him on there so he could try and mug him off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, I hate Tommy Robinson. Like, he's clearly a fucking bellend, but you don't like. If you got to get him on for an interview like that, you got to give him his chance to speak.
Yeah,
even though what
exactly.
he's gonna say is complete bollocks.
If you wanna show him for being the fucking idiot that he is, then you have to let him
Let him talk.
Yeah,
Let him talk.
Exactly.
He'll do it.
Like, he might have a legitimate point or two. That's fine.
Did you see his interview with Donald Trump?
Tommy Robinson.
Not Tommy Robinson. Piers Morgan.
No, I didn't. I couldn't.
It was just the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
it
like,
just
so-
yeah.
If you interview, it would happen to any president. Like, if you interview a president, you get given a select things you can say. Like, you submit a load of questions and say, no, don't answer that, don't ask that, don't ask that. That's fine. But he just was joking around half the time and asked him if he wanted to be an Arsenal fan. It's like, this isn't hard-hitting journalism. This is you chatting to a mate.
Yeah, well, clearly they're mates, aren't they? Or something like that. They used to be, or something like before he became president.
Won, the biggest Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or whatever fucking.
The biggest Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Whatever.
Who wants to get the most?
What is it? The fucking.
I think he won like the American version of Pointless or something.
No, it was American Apprentice. Listen to it. It's American Apprentice.
The weakest link.
No, it's definitely Pointless.
The Cube.
You.
Donald Trump, bring on the wall.
Oh, God, what a TV show. That didn't get the credit it deserved.
What a podcast.
We've nailed that.
The things that don't get the credit it deserves.
Just great friends.
Yeah.
Is this where we go on to the cum box thing?
Oh, that's exactly how the comments done this. Also, the cum box. That's how you've just brought it up.
That's. Do you want to talk us through the cum box, Jack? There's a sentence I never thought I'd say
Have
out
you
loud.
found it, Jack? Because I've got it here.
Yeah, if you got it, you got it. Because I think I'm biased.
It starts off with my cousin died when we were both 17.
This is bad enough.
There was a reception at his house just after the funeral. I went into his room and stole all the money that was there. Took some valuables that his parents wouldn't realise were gone. No one knows I did it. They just assumed that he didn't have any money or loose change. I don't regret it, but I never admit it, even though you just typed it. But never mind. And then he puts, also, my cum box.
You can't offer through that, or you can't say that's not funny while cracking up laughing.
I know.
I don't think it was meant to be funny.
And yeah, here we are.
He stole
The
all the
worst
money
thing,
from his
the
dead
worst thing
cousin.
about it says he doesn't regret it.
Yeah.
No, but can you expand that? He goes into actually, because people are like, hold on, there's a cum box, and that's what it ends up being about.
Yeah, well, it's, the next, like, the reply is, elaborate on this cum box. And then he did. He said, well, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a shoebox.
Going
Or
well
at least
so
it
far.
was. And
Well,
whenever
monster.
I
That's what it says
masturbate,
on
I
the
come
tin.
into it. I've had it for 2 or 3 years now, I think. So it has a fair amount of cum. Also, it smells atrocious. And I tried to burn it once. When I light it on fire, it was too damp to
Oh,
oh,
of course
gee.
it fucking was.
It was
box
too
of
damp
jizz.
due to the cum that it
Due to
simply.
the cum. And it simply sizzled. Oh,
He
Turns
after
out-
that, he didn't try and get rid of it after he tried to burn it. He kept it
yeah, he
and just
kept it.
sprayed deodorant on it.
Hold on. Turns out, burning cum smells awful. So I had to spray it with deodorant body spray just to get the old smell of burned cum away.
Fucking hell.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
the worst thing, it's like...
Oh my
this
god, he
description-
uploaded a picture of it!
Yeah, I've seen the picture. I'm not looking at it again.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that is
Oh, it's vile.
disgusting.
If you saw that, you think, are you okay inside?
He actually, someone is like, why? And he says, well, apparently I'm a rather disturbed individual, but it just kind of happened. Bought new shoes and needed some place to come.
Oh, I needed a place to come.
Hold on. It gets worse. Edit 4. I often get PM'd about updates or current status of the box. Generally a few a week, so I might as well update this post. If anyone even gets linked here anymore. Current status: I have created life. Mold has begun to grow in the box and has taken over a fair amount. Smells a bit worse.
Created life, fuck's sake.
And I will never be rid of my need for it. I hate and love the box.
Oh my god.
Just as I hate and love myself. And he's uploaded a photo of it with the mold, and that is absolutely fucking
I've not seen the
horrible.
photo. Oh, so I might actually go look at that.
That's a
But
thumbnail.
I quite like this guy because he's quite funny about it. Like the
Yeah,
way he
he's
describes
at
it.
least owning it, isn't he? He's owning the fact that he has a cum box. He's not. I feel like he's not really ashamed. Like I feel like he's.
Although it says I both hate myself but love the box or something.
I hate and
Yeah.
love the box just as I hate and love myself.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I've created life.
Do you know what's crazy? He could be your friend. He could be anyone.
That's the yeah.
He could be the next president. He probably will be.
Probably is the president. He come in a box.
But it's that's the slogan. Come in a box.
Yeah.
The best
But
thing
We
is come in
know
box.
it. It'd be amazing if it would like had sad right at the end of it, exclamation mark. We'd be like, holy shit, it's Donald Trump.
I was
Yeah.
on I was on Yahoo Answers one time, and you know the way that is a sewer. And someone asked this question like, are any of you like really comfy in bed on a Sunday morning and you need to pee but you can't be bothered to get up, so you just pee the bed? And I read this and I was like, what the I'm so fucking angry at this. And there was like 17 replies of people saying, yeah, done that.
What?
Yeah, been there.
I don't even piss in the shower.
No, Jesus, I'm not friends with anyone who pisses in the shower. So bad
Some people
news.
do that.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. I've heard of people doing it, but I've never heard any of my friends say that. Like,
I just think that's still on my feet, and I wouldn't purposely piss on my foot.
Yeah.
You never peed in a pool?
No, I wouldn't even do it in the sea.
No, I've pissed in a pool when I was a kid. I think I did.
Yeah, but I
that.
don't like as a kid you would do it because you're a kid, but if you're like I think adults would do it.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like other people are around you, and like I wouldn't like the idea because some of that piss is remaining in my shorts, and I'm taking it with me. It's weird.
So they'd rather piss in the bed and then clean up the bed after than get out of bed and take a piss. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Or
Seems
do
that
they
way.
just sit in the piss for the rest of the time that they're in bed?
I can never do that just because I hate washing my bed in.
Yeah.
I've got a
Washing
terrible stain
linen
on
is
my
awful.
I've got a terrible stain on my bedsheet where I was eating pizza in bed and I got garlic sauce all over the bed.
You are
So-
you are living your best life.
This is as good as I can get.
I like where Jack draws the line. He's like, there's a garlic stain on my bed and I do not want to wash it, but I will never piss in it.
Oh no, it gets washed. It's stained there now, so it's not going. It looks like it's like a white drippy stain, quite near where my head is on the bed. So it looks terrible. But it's. I tried to explain.
looks like you
that
were
it is a garlic stain. It's garlic.
you
But that's
weren't
not
weren't rubbing one out and you missed the box.
I missed my. But no, like trying to explain to someone like it doesn't make you look any better. It's like, oh, yeah, I was eating pizza in bed and I got garlic sauce all over the sheets. That doesn't make you look any better to them.
Jesus.
But by then they're in their bedroom, so they wouldn't leave because of the implication. I had to throw in an Always Sunny reference in there.
What a show.
What a fun.
I can't not. I watch that show over and over still every day.
It's sad that there might not be another season with
No, it is.
Yeah, but he's
How about
not
not necessarily in it, but he's working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I think he's still going to write it, I think, but he said whether or not...
He's definitely going to write it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a bit dark.
You know, It always
If
does.
if someone hadn't watched It's Always Sunny, they're going to be so weirded out by what I said.
Yeah.
I think
It's alright, we get it. Don't worry about it.
I think anyone who was weirded out by that probably left when we started talking about the cum box.
Cum box, yeah. You can't make that as a title for this podcast. Cum box talk. Cum talk.
Oh,
Garlic stains.
the song closing the show is going to be "Come Together," but
Oh god.
who wants to go next?
I've closed the thread.
Fucking hell! You
because
are
not because
you are just a ridiculous person.
so I suggest it's best one of you two go next.
Loose more.
I was just thinking about more cum songs, to be
Okay,
honest.
so
I'm thinking about, are you gonna come my way, or are you gonna go my way?
are you gonna go my way?
Ah,
But
shit.
interestingly, it's by Lenny Kravitz, so it's no doubt about coming.
Yeah, definitely about
Is he a
coming.
weirdo?
He's
Yeah.
he wears a cock ring. So
Oh.
I mean that says it all.
Wasn't it Lenny Kravitz who was on the stage and like his trousers split or something?
Yeah.
And he just like cock full on display for everybody. He
Yeah.
didn't care.
Who performs wearing a cock ring?
And
What are you doing,
Who
Mike?
wears a cock ring?
Yeah, who? Yeah, no, that's a better question.
What's it about? Is it to make you last longer?
Don't know.
Doesn't it just restricts blood to it, surely, doesn't it?
It's probably like a really specific type of wedding, I would imagine. Like no fingers available.
yeah, no, it's it's two cocks that have been married. It's just
We're gonna have to get a cock ring expert on the show. For,
One
another-
testicle proposes to the other, they put a ring on the cock.
Yeah, I think it said if you like your cock, you put a ring on it. I don't fucking know.
yeah.
That's what Beyonce was talking about it.
Yeah. So I will go ahead with the next one, and hopefully no one cuts this out and uses the soundbite. But this person says that they have been having sex with their cousin since they were 18, on and off for 3 years. The worst part about it is that she is severely bipolar, hypersexual, and on disability. It's consensual and she wants to do it more often, but I know I'm making things worse as opposed to helping her live a normal life. I think I first rationalized it as being a way to comfort her and offer her companionship. Everyone in my family tells me how great it is that I'm one of the few people who can get through to her and get her to listen.
And you said I was living my best life.
I know. I love the way it's like, I'm having sex with my cousin. I'd say the worst part about it, and like it actually does manage to get worse than that.
Yeah, like, there is only bad parts to that. You're shagging your cousin.
You're shagging
And-
your mentally disabled cousin, yeah.
Even if it's not illegal, which it isn't, it's not in America either, is it?
Probably not in every state, anyway.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's not alright. That doesn't mean it's alright, sorry. Like, you're shagging a family member.
The best part for me is when he says, I think I first rationalized it as being a way to comfort her and offer her companionship. That, to me, is the most teenage boy way of looking at the world.
Don't give someone
You know what'll make you
Shove
better?
a cock in her.
You know what'll make you better? My cock inside.
My cock.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think he asked her if she wanted to be his cum box.
Oh, fuck it. Man.
Oh, top podcast. Top
Can you
podcast.
be my cum box? I would like to store cum in you for a long period of time.
Oh man, no one's ever asked me to. I'm doing that accent because, come on, we're all thinking it. No one's ever asked me to be their cum box.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is. Like, I think when you're that deep in something, you justify it any way you can, do you?
When you're that
Yeah,
deep in
because the
someone.
truth
Oh, yeah, don't make a pun about that. Well, you're better than that.
I don't know that that's true anymore.
No, you're not, but it's nice to say you are.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's like, yeah, but you try and justify it any way you can, don't you?
Yeah.
Even if you know it's wrong, but you're going to justify it by saying, "Oh, it's alright."
How could something that feels this good be wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the peak of being human is having sex. So why is it wrong?
There's a guy who posts, I came here expecting at least a little comic relief in some of the comments, but boy, this is some heavy duty shit. I was going to tell a story about the time I got really drunk and made out with a dude at a gay bar, but A, it wouldn't ruin my life. It might just people's idea of me, and B, it's nowhere near the caliber of these other stories. And then someone replies, no shit, man, there's a guy with a cum box on here.
That's some of the things, like, that has become a thing on Reddit, I think. People just, like, add it into comments and stuff like that.
The cum box thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's just... Oh, fuck, I don't know, you don't know what to say about it, do you?
No, it's... Like, I wouldn't actually believe... I think, you know the way you were saying that? When you're deep in something, you justify it to yourself. I feel like that's a fucking disturbing story, but I would justify it to myself by saying it doesn't exist. But I've clicked on 2 pictures from 2 separate timelines of the cum box, and I can confirm that it does indeed exist. So
yeah, it's be hard to create something like that looks how it does.
Yeah.
Without it being.
And it's probably even weirder that you make up a cum box story and then you like manufacture some box to look like it's got cum in it. Like that's even fucking weirder. Well,
like, from the comments as well. No one asked for a picture.
Yeah.
They just wanted it explained to them.
He's like, I've got videos too, and everyone's like, no.
No, that's the pictures. We didn't ask for a picture. We got that.
Yeah.
So
We truly do live in the fucking stupidest timeline.
Yeah.
ish. There is the weirdest thing is that there's people like that. Like there's people that think this is normal, and there's one day I just woke up and said, "Oh, I got some new trainers yesterday. What should I do with that box?" I think I might come in it, to be honest. What was he doing before that?
Yeah. Like
trying on his new trainers.
Not like that.
I don't know. Like, and it's weird that he was just like, well, got nowhere to come. Gonna use this box.
You think if you look around your room...
Yeah, maybe it was a time before recycling. Like, we didn't have, like, the blue bin or whatever that we have to recycle cardboard. And he was just like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, what do we do with cardboard? And he's just like, what?
He probably doesn't know what bin to put in either. It's cardboard, so I should recycle it. But there's also some human waste in there, so it probably should go down the toilet.
I can't believe he's still using it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you not start a new one?
He mentions what he does. He said he moved into a different apartment. He's like he moved that with him.
I know.
He's packed that in a box.
Usually,
I imagine like him
his
having a
box
conversation.
into a box.
Yeah, having a conversation with the removal people. Like, be careful with that box. Though, like, that's important.
That's private, but delicate.
Yeah, don't put anything on top of that. Yeah, that needs to be.
But usually a friend helps you move as well. It's like other people have probably touched it at some point.
Yeah.
Someone's probably picked it up when they were moving, thinking it's one of the boxes to put stuff in. He should run over and grabbed it from him. No, not that. Not that.
I imagine he's written on the side of it in black pen. Cum box.
Cum box.
do not open.
Do not open is box of cum.
Yeah.
Contains cum. Oh, God. I haven't got that much content out of cum box. Hasn't got that much in a cum box.
Here, I'm scrolling down this thread and I cannot believe the amount of incest.
Yeah, that's what a lot of it is, isn't it? There's
It's
a lot of
people that are fucking their cousins, and one guy here who's masturbating to pictures of his mother.
Yeah, just. There's the tame ones. There's a bloke whose like username is I am liar 22, which is amazing. And he's like basically like this. He's transferred out of going to college, and he's just lied about it to his family and everybody. And he's like, coming clean at this point is not an option. And it's like, compared to everything else in this fucking thread, has he not read like how like it's not that big a deal, mate? Just tell everyone that you didn't end up going to college or you dropped out or whatever. And like above it is like, I fucked my nan, and you think, Jesus.
It's funny to me that he says coming clean is not an option, and the same can be said for the cum box guy.
That's what I mean. He's funny about it.
Yeah.
Coming clean. Oh, I hate myself.
Nice.
God.
There's one here, right, that is gonna set a lot of our listeners. They're gonna have to pause for a minute. So this is from another throwaway account. It says, I'm a 25-year-old female high school teacher. I've gotten myself off on multiple occasions while fantasizing about fucking one of my 16-year-old male students on top of the desk in my classroom.
That's
Jesus.
every boy's dream, isn't it?
Yep. But this is
But
go on, Lucemoore.
I feel like that's like an 80s movie, isn't it? Like, I'm sure like that's kind of, or like it's a fantasy from an 80s movie. Like, the main character in the 80s movie is like a teenage boy, and that's like the scene he has in his head or something. Like, that can't be
he's
real.
so popular, even the teachers fancy him.
You know
Yeah.
what? This is actually a guy, because the next comment from them is, really, it's weird to say about myself, but I am a pretty attractive lady, and I dress up nicely to help distinguish myself from the kids, since I'm not much older than some of them. I wear high heels every day and skirts most of the time. I've noticed a few boys actively checking me out while I walk down the hall or whatever. Yeah, like, that's definitely a man.
Yeah, that's not a that's not a real
that
thing.
is 100% a 45-year-old man trying
Yeah.
to live out his
Living out his own fantasy.
his school fantasy. Yeah, 100%.
There's always like, it's one of them things. Like, if it's a bloke teacher saying he wants to shag his female students, then it's not very nice.
Yeah.
But like, if it's a boy student shagging his female teacher, he's like the biggest lad in the school.
Yeah, so the reactions go accordingly. Like, if like that fucking guy that was like 30 something, that musician guy a few years ago who ran off to France with like a 15-year-old student of his. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that fucking guy is like sick. He's sick in the head. But then you hear about this 35-year-old female teacher that was fucking her 15-year-old, and you're like, ah.
you're gonna give that a standing ovation. Like,
Yeah,
well done, son.
yeah. But
Oh, you get some like 80s dads who'd be the same though. Like, even nowadays, you get dads like, you found out if the son comes in and goes, "Oh, I shagged my teacher today," you go, "Well done, son. Well done. Let's have a beer."
that's like Jay from Inbetweeners. His dad would be like that.
Yeah. Go on, son.
God,
Give it one for me as well.
fucking get it.
Oh god. Like everyone has had a teacher in school they thought were hot, don't they?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
that's part of the the journey.
Yeah.
One of my speaking of Inbetweeners, there's a great moment in that where there's like one of the teachers is like an average looking sort of, hate to speak on these terms, but like, a 6 out of 10 over 30 woman, and all the kids
So
are
she
like,
bends over or something.
yeah, and they're like, oh mate, it should be illegal for her to teach, she is so fit. And Will is like, are you sure you're not just getting ahead of yourself because she's the only moderately attractive person in this entire school? And they're like, nah mate, she's proper fit. So like, there's a lot of that in my school, like just a very average looking woman and all the lads just fucking coming in their boxes over her. But in one of my schools, I swear to God, like 8 of the teachers in it were just fucking like unbelievable, and I failed many exams because of them. So
I failed because I was a dickhead, but there was only really one teacher that was hot in mine, but she was like,
but you locked her in a cupboard.
nah, she wasn't hot. She was just the short blonde woman. She was just an easy target.
Be nice to women, Jack. Rule 1.
Yeah, rule one.
Yeah. That's the day I made that rule because I felt bad about it. But like she used to wear like a skirt with like I don't know, like a sort of suity shirt kind of thing, and like a tie like loosely on. So she looked sometimes like a bit of a slag. And that drew me to her, I think.
Yeah, well, you are an Essex boy.
I am. She was an Essex girl.
Fucking hell. I had this story is not really to do with that, but in one of my schools, there's this. I got kicked out of class because I asked the teacher what a champagne supernova was, and I was out in the hallway. And
You mad cunt.
I know, I was fucking. I turned it up to 11, mate.
Yeah.
But one of the fucking our PE teacher was taking this. It was like a free class, so he was like supervising it, and then I can't remember any of the name. I'll just make up, like, Mr. fucking Williams was the PE teacher, and he was like, what do you have to do? And the other kid was talking about his, I don't know, fucking science, Mr. Murphy or something. He was like, I don't know, sir, it's Mr. Murphy's class, I don't know. And the teacher goes, well, why don't you go and ask Mr. Murphy? And he goes, oh, Mr. Murphy's gay. And then Mr. Williams goes, you think he's gay, yeah? Why don't you go and tell him that then? And the guy's like, what? And he goes, yeah, go and tell Mr. Murphy what you just said. And he goes, sir, I'm not just going to open the door into his class and say, I think you're gay. And he goes, tell him I told him to tell you. So he walks out of the class, knocks on the door, and I was in the fucking hallway to witness this. Opens the door, yes? Hi, sir, Mr. Williams told me to tell you that you're gay.
Kids in school will do the stupidest stuff.
Oh, it was fucking amazing though. Like, the whole class went crazy, and then the fucking teacher cunt got like a huge red face, started shouting, chalk flying everywhere. It was just terrific.
Terrific banter.
It was absolutely terrific. It was
a terrific student.
It was peaking lad banter, yeah.
And you got the rest of the day off, right? That's what happens.
It was like the second last class of the day, and I think I went home straight after it anyway, because that school was the fucking wilderness, and you basically
Because your day had peaked.
yeah. I knew it wasn't getting any better.
It's not getting. It only goes downhill, so I'm going home.
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, you think about the stuff you did in school, and you cringe sometimes, don't you?
Oh yeah, man.
I thought teaching the code makes you cringe a little bit.
Really? No, that's a great story though.
It's a great story, but it's like you feel bad about it.
Oh,
Like,
I feel bad about a lot of
Got
things.
in the cupboard.
I feel really bad about that time that me and you were in that fucking the fucking Royal George or whatever, the most English named pub in London, and we were watching QPR against Bolton, and you were fucking swearing at the TV the whole time.
That
And
doesn't
this-
sound like something I'd do.
And this old couple came over and said, "Would you mind not swearing, young man?" And I went, "Yeah, Jack, you cunt." and I feel really bad for that. That was
It's
a
like,
really
yeah, why do you
shitty
do that?
thing
These
to
people
do.
have lived through wars.
That's true.
Yeah.
What I love the most is that you didn't stop swearing and they were really angry. So
No, what would I?
yeah, it's true. But yeah, I feel really shitty about that.
Oh, it's just generally being a dick in school. I shouldn't have done. I was suspended. I called my teacher a bitch at one point.
Really?
So you go out now and think, like, you shouldn't do that. I probably knew I shouldn't have done it at the time as well, but you just think, oh, this would be quite funny, actually. And it wasn't, according to her.
According to her. The caveat to the situation is that Jack still thinks she's a bitch to this day.
Oh, she was being a bitch. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyone got another thing?
There's
Go
one
on.
here with 1,858 points from 5 years ago. Just IP in the sink.
I don't think that's that bad. It's not great, but it's not something that would ruin your life.
Yeah.
Unless you worked in a kitchen somewhere.
The guy replied, if God didn't want us to pee in sinks, he wouldn't put them at dick level. I don't think God created sinks.
God didn't create kitchen.
Yeah, my kitchen
God
sink
creates the
is
kitchen and the lounge.
my kitchen sink is absolutely not at dick level.
Mine's too high.
Yeah, mine's way too fucking high. Also,
Yeah, you've
why
got to
would
be
you
like...
there's a fucking apparatus
For
designed.
you, it's high.
There's a man named Thomas Crapper who invented the toilet, and that was for you to piss in. It is approximately, I don't know, 4 feet away from the sink. Just piss in the toilet. I fucking hate people that just do weird shit like that for no fucking reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
can't believe your sink's too high for you to piss in.
my kitchen one.
You're not blessed with height.
Oh yeah, well you're like 6'10", so
That's not true.
nah, 6'9".
Closer. It's the same as like, yeah, I've never pissed in something other than what has been made to piss in. Other than like a bush if I'm out or
Yeah,
something.
look, if something being dick level was the prerequisite for pissing in it, like
I'd
I'd fucking
pissing on my TV. At the
yeah,
moment.
piss in every empty pint glass. Like it's fucking retarded.
I used to, like, I was being from Essex, right? I know some. I've got mates, and they're lads, some of them. And like we was in Manchester once. I don't know why. It was when we got banned from Penryn that weekend.
Lads
So
on
this-
tour.
come-
What were
Yeah.
you banned from there for? Punching a mirror or something?
One of them punched a mirror because it would be funny. It wasn't. It was actually. It was quite funny. That was when they let a naked man in my room.
Right.
Oh, I told that story.
No.
No.
Right, so I was in the middle. I've gone on another tangent here. Right, this other one though. Before I tell that one, when we was in a bar and he was ordering a drink and he was just pissing up the bar. Like literally,
Okay.
like, you know, where bars and like you go to
Yeah.
bars where you get where you get a drink, it sort of comes up to like chest height, sometimes higher, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite
a
high.
little bit above the waist, maybe.
So he was holding his money in one hand, ordering a drink, and holding his cock in the other, taking a piss at the
Oh my god, Jack!
Jesus.
Jack, we both know someone. We both met someone who's done that and gotten kicked out of the pub for it. I'm not gonna. I won't say his name on the show because
Is he tall?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise
No,
me.
it's not. No, it's not who you're thinking of though. He's like
Was he
your
not?
height.
It's
It's not Jamas.
not Jawas.
No,
Oh, right.
no.
It's my height.
It's someone else. I think he's like. He might not be. I don't know. Everyone's tall to me. Well, no, I'm 5'9". I don't need to fucking fight my
I don't
corner.
know everyone that's been there.
It was when it didn't happen when we were in Brixton, but you met him when we were in Brixton. What?
When was it Brixton?
For,
When was Brixton?
For the Code Line gig. One of them.
One of them's Ty.
Yeah, Ty and the other Jack were there, and there was another person, wasn't there?
There might have been, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. There was definitely someone else there, yeah.
Oh, and he was also with us when we were at the Code Line gig in fucking the outdoor one in London.
At Somerset House.
Yeah, Somerset House. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you talk about. I can't remember his name.
Okay. Good.
I'm not going to say anyway. But,
Yeah, so
there was another story.
Yeah, go on.
I can't remember what it was though. There's
The
pissing. It was pissing at the bar. Oh, the naked guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like we got in probably about 3 a.m. or something, and we went to bed. I woke up about 4 or something. There's a guy just naked at the end of my bed, and he looked like one of our mates. Like really looked like he's quite short. But then like after a few seconds of looking at his face, I was just like, "You're not who I think you are." And then my mate was in the bed. There's like 2 beds in them, and so he's in the bed. And it's like, the mate woke up as well, and I was like, "That's not Kyle, is it?" And he was like, "No." I went, "Mate, what are you doing in our room?" And he was just standing there. He's like, "Oh, I've lost my watch." So he just walks out, and starts walking down the corridor, and like we're just sitting there going, "What the fuck has just happened?"
Was he watching you sleep?
But he was, I'm unaware of how long he was in the room for.
Oh god, that's fucking
Oh, fuck.
horrifying.
Did
And
he
then-
not? Was he not like? He didn't have his like hand on his cock or something, did
No,
he? Or something?
it was just sort
Okay.
of. He wasn't really looking at us. He was just sort of standing in the room. He's looking towards a bed, but not at us as such. I think he realised what situation he was in. He didn't know what to do. And then
What do you mean? What situation is he?
like
He entered your room, took off his clothes, and then
No, he didn't have clothes on.
he just
No,
came in without
He
clothes.
was naked in the hallway, and one of the staff came towards him, and said, "What are you doing naked in the hallway?" As you would.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, I can't find my room." And then he just pointed it out as going to say, "Oh, it's here." And so they
when
just
you
let him into
came
our...
into yours by accident, or is that how you're justifying it in your mind?
No, that is what the started happened. I feel like we could have taken this further with Premier at the time.
Yeah, you fucking could have.
I mean, if that was a group of girls in that room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
But-
talking an out of court settlement and all the
But that-
cocaine
that
money
night-
can buy.
but that night we also got banned from coming back because someone broke the mirror. So we kind of thought
Fuck yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
6 one, half a dozen the other. Really, isn't it? We've all made mistakes. Let's move on.
What an amazing story.
Yeah, that is some peak Jack Brown right there.
Yeah, sometimes things just happen around me.
That's true. I really love when this only happens like maybe twice a year, but like I go out in Swords and go to the fucking club and like all that shit, and I come home and it's dawn and I'm fucking destroyed, but I'm just so happy because I had such a great night. And I fire up the computer and then it'll say Jack Brown has signed in, and like we're both in the exact same position, like we've both had a great night and both just talking absolute fucking
Complete
shit.
shite.
Yeah.
Slagging people off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Wonder what Tom DeLonge's up to.
Yeah. Talking about aliens and how they definitely
Yeah.
exist.
They definitely exist.
They definitely.
No, they don't. Let's not talk rubbish.
Yeah, let's not talk about Tom DeLonge and his weird shenanigans.
Oh. He does enough for that himself.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh.
Such an air of satisfaction about it.
That's such a like a sigh of what a podcast.
we have podcasted really well today.
We have. This
That's-
has been very good podcasting. I think this might be the most podcast.
Strictly speaking, they're all the same amount of podcasts.
Yeah, sure.
It's hard to argue.
I mean, you've laid down the facts there, really.
Did you know this?
No,
This podcast is 4 years old, actually.
What was the first one? You did it with
Jack.
the other Jack, wasn't it?
The
Yeah.
other Jack,
What's he
yeah.
doing nowadays?
I have not got a
Is he dead?
fucking clue, mate. He messaged me in June of last year saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be away for the next 2 weeks, so I can't record." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then I never heard from him
He's
ever
never
again.
come back.
I messaged him like 2 weeks later saying, "We recording tonight, fam?" No reply. Never heard from him again. Not
he
convinced.
doesn't like you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Jesus, I've lost sleep over it. But no, not really. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in an alternate dimension or something.
Yeah, he'll come back one day.
That's what the legend says.
Zombie Apocalypse Part 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The absolute peak podcast.
Oh yeah, I was gonna put something to you, Jack. You've made the point on this. We'll end on this. You've made the point on this show that the Purge is a whole load of bollocks because people don't commit crime just to commit crime. And I was thinking about that today, and about because the school shooting and all. And it's like I don't actually think that's true anymore. I think if they did do the Purge, it'd be pretty fucking anarchic. Is that a word?
Anarchic.
Anarchaotic.
It's anarchaic, isn't it?
I don't know.
Anarchaic.
No, archaic means ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what that. Okay, yeah, but anarch.
And then there's anarchy, which is like, chaos.
That's pronounced anarchy.
Yeah, what you saying?
Yeah, so I think people would commit crime just to commit crime. I think it would be anarchy.
What did I say?
You said it's bullshit. People don't commit crime just to commit crime. They do it out of poverty and necessity and all these things.
Yeah, there's always a reason behind why they do
I think
it.
there's other stuff. I think a lot of people have impulse problems.
Has anyone ever
Like-
addressed the fact that the Purge movies all take place in a world where radical Islam doesn't exist? Because, like, if they were like, oh yeah, there's crime is
Is that
legal.
true?
Well, no. Well, I mean, it must be, right? Because if they made crime legal, wouldn't all of the terrorists be like, all right, this is the time I can do
This
whatever
is
I
our
want?
night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this isn't...
But
they must have some parameters.
terrorists aren't not
Yeah.
doing it because it's a crime.
No, I know, but so obviously terrorism being illegal doesn't prevent terror, but it's got to reduce it on some level.
Yeah, they must have parameters, because surely, like, you would just... If all crime was legal for that night, surely you just steal a plane, legal,
Exactly.
fly it
yeah.
straight into a building,
Exactly.
legal.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
From a logistical point of view, like
Yeah.
just the logistics of having to circumvent the law while you're
Yeah.
committing terrorism, it's gotta be easier to do it if
What happens in the films? What's the story
It's
round?
pretty contained within like a singular
community.
story, really. Yeah.
It's usually
So it doesn't
restricted to a
really.
neighborhood, so it's like
Yeah, it doesn't really like tell you what's going on in the rest of the country.
in the
It's
first
kind of like
one is just Ethan Hawke in a bunker, and
Is it the way I'd do it? I'd have it where it shows a family or something who doesn't want to be part of it,
yeah, it does do that. Yeah,
like
yeah,
hiding
it
from
does.
it.
Yeah, that's the second.
the
one.
second one is really good.
Yeah, it's a really good action movie.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
if you
yeah.
take out
It's
the
not a really
horror
good movie,
elements.
but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's like
What's the second one? Is the second one like a national level?
No, it's localized as well. It goes out in the streets a bit more, and it gets a bit seedier. But it's got a cool like kind of duality where it's like there's this, I don't know, is it a mother and a daughter, or is it two sisters? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. It's a mother. I think it might be a mother and daughter.
So they were originally going to be raped by some leading politician or some shit who goes out on like a rape purge every year. And then there's this other guy who's basically the Punisher. His whole family got killed, and this is going to be the day that he goes and kills the killer. And they end up...
Well, it's a hit and run, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
and
a
then,
guy. Yeah.
So they
He was
end
going
up,
to use his day to kill him. Yeah.
They cross paths, and he ends up looking after the two girls, and they go on some adventure. And like it's not as localized as the first one, and they kind of go out in the streets, and it's good. Like the guy is a bit of a badass. He's got that dead inside, nothing to lose. I just need vengeance, and then I can die happy type thing. And the other two have the whole we're against this on a fundamental level because it victimizes people like us, and they do all the shit. Like the ending's really really satisfying, I think. It's good shit, but you don't see any jihadis flying planes into buildings, and
Yeah, it's not really like it like I said before. It's fairly contained. There's no sort of like story about the wider implications of what the night does to anything beyond
you've
that
got to
night.
think about reducing or eliminating the law for one day. Who does that incentivize the most? Of course, it incentivizes the impoverished and the downtrodden and all of that. But it also definitely incentivizes terrorists.
I don't get it as a concept though, because why people don't like. Speaking of that, yeah, people aren't going to commit a crime on this one day, because when people are committing crimes to live, like to be able to live a life and to have money, then what they ain't going to do enough on this one day to pay for a whole year's of living. So what's the idea behind doing crimes outside of this one day?
I think, yeah, that's a fair point. The whole point of the purge, I think, is that the prison system is overrun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. So therefore, they're giving criminals an opportunity to do what they have to do. Yeah, it's kind of a convoluted. I think you just meant to go along with it and not question it.
Yeah,
like,
obviously it's madness.
yes,
It's not supposed to be a realistic thing. I was like, but yeah, so if someone's not going to be living on a day where they can't do it, thinking I've got no money to eat today, going I can't commit a crime because it's not March the 15th.
Yeah.
Which isn't even the purge day. It's just the day that guy has designated as his crime
Yeah,
day.
that's his crime day. He doesn't celebrate birthdays anymore. He's got rid of it for a crime day.
Can you imagine the fucking strain it'd put on the court system, where it's like the number of people who committed crimes like 1 second out of the purge like parameters?
Yeah.
The number of fucking like they're only gonna make their justice system a lot fucking more difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I think did they ever explain like what happens if they do it outside of this day?
Yeah, not like it's just illegal basically, because they have someone who's very close to doing something outside the day, but the time goes past and they're like, no, fuck it, I won't.
Yeah.
My murderous rage has evaporated now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like a bomb
Talk
goes
to
off,
thing, I'm not
like
gonna-
a siren or whatever. Yeah.
Before we started, I knew we were going to end up doing this topic, so I tweeted out asking people what the thing they're most embarrassed by, and only like fucking 2 people replied. One of them said they love every Pitbull song, and another one said they enjoy watching old episodes of Scooby-Doo. So,
Both,
the
evil.
most embarrassing one is from Amir, who says, I support Arsenal FC. Just that alone, that's pretty embarrassing, but he also goes on to say, and can occasionally have the same process as the bellends on AFTV.
Oh yeah, he's got mental health issues.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very, very, very true. It's
You need to consider your life, young man.
I love the way Koscielny is shit now, so they don't talk shit about company anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, well.
Oh yeah, Koscielny is now the shittest centre back in the league. So big fat German or
Big mental
Cos.
Pepe.
big mental Pepe. I miss that man.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's just in Turkey.
Yeah, which he might as well be dead.
Well, he might as well be dead. Yeah.
Jesus, have you noticed the amount of people on the internet who hate Turkish people?
No,
Right, well,
Is that a thing?
yeah, man.
I don't let them cut my hair, but
I go on like Age of Empires, and the names of the lobbies are like 4v4 1650 elo, no dirty
No
Turks
Turks.
allowed. It's mad. Like they actually get so much fucking hate from people. I was playing like a 4v4 one time, and a guy on my team was Turkish, and another guy on my team found out that he was Turkish, and he sabotaged our game because of it. Like built walls around our towns and just so we couldn't do anything, and he was like, I'm not going to let a Turk win and all this shit. It's like,
Jesus
what the
Christ.
fuck is wrong with you people? Not the Turks. Fuck is wrong with the people who hate the Turk? Why do people hate Turkey so much?
Yeah, well, I've just don't let them cut my hair. That's all.
Why you got previous?
No, they're just not very good at it.
Are they? No,
They-
like they must be because they're
They're
fucking
good.
every.
They're good at like shaving and stuff like that and trimming your beard and that. They're really good at that. But don't trust them to do a decent cut.
I feel like everyone who has that Dapper Laughs haircut, they all go to the Turkish barbers, don't they?
No, they wouldn't.
Would they not?
Nah. They're Turkish aren't qualified to do it. Or they're qualified but within their totally different sort of cuts to what we'd have over here. You ask them to do a decent fade on like the side of your head, they won't be able to do it.
Here, I'm not into. I don't know how. Like, I really do want to get some kind of trendy haircut, but I just don't know what to ask for.
I think given the state of the rest of you, that's kind of trying to polish a turd, isn't it?
Oh, why do I bother recording when you're not coming on? This is the Jack Brown show.
I should have my own show. I shouldn't have my own show.
You should. I'd fucking love it. If I would fucking fund a spin-off show to the Midnight Hour where it's just you.
The title of this episode, sorry, should be surely Jack in a Cum Box. I've just thought of that. That's
No.
No?
No.
It's a
I'd
good
prefer if
episode
it wasn't that. Did you say Jack
Alright.
in a cum box or and a cum box?
I don't think
but
Jack
I
gets the
riff
pun.
on a box, Jack in a box, like Jack's back on the podcast. I was trying to riff on
I
something.
got that. I just didn't want Jack in a
Yeah,
cum
I
box.
know.
to be
The
part of
implications
podcast.
that you were coming in a cum box.
Don't
Yeah,
talk to me about the implication.
yeah.
Do you usually come in a box that is not your designated cum box?
Why wouldn't you go in the one you always go in? You've made it yours.
Going back to that earlier thought, I'd love to hear the production of the Jack Brown podcast. Like, I bet it would be the most fun. I wish you had creative freedom to make a podcast.
Right, your freedom.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if you had the editing software and all that shit, and you were like, all right, we're gonna do a podcast, but it was like you came up with everything. I'd love to hear what song you'd pick for the intro, because it would be like clown music or some shit.
In the summertime, Django Merry.
Okay.
Mungo Jerry. Whichever one it is.
It's some
I think I
iteration
called
of
him
those
Django Merry.
sounds.
I don't think it's that.
No, it's not.
It's in the summertime. It's Mungo Jerry.
It's like Congo Berry or something. Yeah, it's some iteration of those sounds. I think is what you're trying to say, Jack.
And why that song?
Just happy-go-lucky kind of song, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it would sum up what Jack's got to say on the
You're
podcast. wouldn't
such
it?
a happy-go-lucky guy.
That is me.
Yeah.
I would never know how to describe myself.
It's tough.
Realist.
It's really tough because sometimes
I think it's easy to describe other people, but I don't know how you describe yourself.
I describe you as and this is God's honest truth. He's probably the biggest cunt I know. He's really, really sound, but he is a cunt. And they're like, so you don't like him? No, I do. He's great. But he's just a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd say that's fair.
yeah. It's
Who
not
do you describe me
inaccurate.
like that to?
I sometimes just be telling stories about how much of a fucking mad cunt you are and stuff.
Oh.
So, yeah. I tell people how you're always saying stuff like, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. And things like that.
Yeah, I always say that. My favourite saying.
You always say, blimey, there's
Well,
cum in this box.
Who comes in my cum box? That's fresh.
London people have that real like bombastic type of humor where it's just really fucking in your face. Like,
It's just non-stop, I think.
one time, remember, I don't think you were there, but me and Ty were outside Nep's pub in London, and Ty he had eaten a Subway and he had the wrapper in his hands because
I think it's before I was there, wasn't it?
no, I think it was the next day after that. But fucking Nep's dad comes out and picks up the Subway wrapper and wallops Ty on the head with it, and I goes, here, why is there no fucking bins in this city? And he goes, because people like you come over and put bombs in them.
So, I think, yeah, there's not a lot of filter, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's you also know that it's really good natured.
Yeah, I think the same as that. I don't think Americans got a good sense of humour.
It's weird because they're very sarcastic, but they don't really have a strong sense of irony. I don't think.
I think they've just got the most basic sense of humour. Like, the most obvious jokes are funny to them.
Like, I don't like any American stand-ups really. Like, I thought Louis C.K. was great in the before time. Wouldn't and I think Joe Rogan is alright, but I think the main reason I find him
don't
so
think it's
funny.
funny.
No, see, I know his personality so well that I think I'm like. I don't enjoy it on a sort of raw level the same way I do fucking Kevin Bridges or someone like that.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, the way that I consume American comedy is vastly different. But like, even if you go back and watch, like, I don't know, like the fucking Big Bang Theory, that show is just not funny at all.
No, it's not funny. It's not funny.
I think it's like it's an old style comedy, isn't it? Like from like the 90s and 80s and stuff. And I don't think, like, if you watch like The Office or some of those, like even the American Office is great, like
fantastic.
Legitimately, and so is Parks and Rec and like those. But the Big Bang Theory isn't funny. Like I think you have to be. I think it's made for the masses, whereas the actual funny comedies tend to be more.
Like, yeah, Big Bang Theory is going to get like critical acclaim, but some like shorter shows that are funny will get it, but they won't have the same audience.
That, a lot of English comedy shows are fucking garbage as well. Like, only fools.
Oh, we
and
have the
horses.
worst. Like fucking Miranda. Jesus Christ.
I'm not a big fan of the IT crowd either.
I never like that.
Yeah,
there's some random like the Mighty Boosh. I thought that was just so stupid. It was funny.
I really, really enjoyed that when I was like in my stoner phase, and
because it was so stupid.
Yeah, I loved smoking a doobie, and I love saying it like that. Yeah, like I loved getting stoned and watching that. But I tried to watch it a couple of years ago, and I was like, Noel Fielding, you're like a 47-year-old man. Fucking seriously, like, get it together. But then what else is there? UK show. The UK panel shows are great, like 8 out of 10 Cats and all that.
Yeah, I just think they still get some shit comedians on every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, you get that bald bloke called Andy who's on every panel show and he's not funny.
Andy Parsons.
Oh god, he's so drastic, isn't he?
There's something about him.
He has to do them shows though, because he can never sell out his own crowd.
I think he's great.
Fuck off.
No, but I can't explain why. Like, he just...
No, he's not.
He doesn't even tell a joke and I'm laughing. Like, he'll walk up to the microphone...
and he'll, like, look at the crowd as he's walking up.
Yeah, he does a fucking stupid face and I'm like, yep, that's...
Always halfway through everything he says.
Yeah. He's the guy... He's the guy who...
Make sure everyone's listening. Yeah, everyone's listening, mate. Say what you say, you prick.
He'll be like, so you mean to say It's a fucking
Yeah,
hedge
yeah.
trimmers or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's like.
Yeah. I don't know. He's,
Is it? Shit.
I used to be exactly like you, and then I took an arrow to nah. I used to really, really, really despise him, and I used to have all the same complaints you did, and then one day it just clicked, and now I think he's great.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Like we get along really well, but we like don't agree on a lot of what we like. Like I like Bill Burr and you don't, do you?
I have come around to him.
I
Yeah.
like Bill Burr. Yeah.
I listened
I think
to.
it's the best comedian on the planet.
There's a video titled Bill Burr discovers Stefan Molyneux, and I please urge everybody to listen to it because it's my favorite thing ever. And he just says everything I was thinking when I first heard Stefan Molyneux, and it's just great.
There's something like on YouTube because like he does his podcast. Like while he does it, he'll have something on in the background. Like he'll talk about an advert he saw, and on YouTube they like put the advert in the background and like break up with him talking about it and him taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
He does it a lot of sports and that, like him commentating over it and stuff like that.
That being said, though, I don't like his comedy.
I think it's brilliant.
I don't think it's good.
I prefer his podcast to his comedy.
He's so angry in Boston though. Like I can imagine why it grates on some people. Like he is like so Boston. I think he's from Boston, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is.
He's not as Boston as you think.
No, he's not actually.
Oh, he's nowhere near as Boston as like Mark Wahlberg. But yeah.
Wahlberg, yeah.
I love Mark Wahlberg. He's just the greatest.
Yeah.
Nobody can play a simple man better than Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He's like
He's the most amazing Mark Wahlberg there is right now.
his eyes
Yeah.
just say, "I know nothing, but
Yeah.
I have a really big heart and I'm well intentioned, but I'm also a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And please don't punish me for mistakes that my intellect allows me to make." And he's just, I don't know.
I just like with American I don't find American people funny, but I think all the best comedians are American.
Well, that's a bit of a paradox then.
That's yeah.
Yeah, but I just think American comics are so above like the comedy of where they're from that it's not the same sort of thing. It's not the same humour.
Yeah,
But-
a lot of the American comics that get imported to the UK are like one-liners, and they have like a sort of a bit, like a gimmick type thing. Like they're shit, but I don't know.
Did you ever watch the Seinfeld? The stand-up he did.
Uh,
Was
What,
on
his
Netflix.
old stand-up or like the stuff that's on Netflix?
yeah, the airplane.
The stuff
footage.
was on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like. So I mean, I like
He's
Seinfeld,
not. It
the
wasn't
TV
funny.
show from back in the day, but he's of his time. I think. Like, I don't. If you watch Seinfeld now, I don't think you'd get it. Like, I don't think you'd like it.
I tell
I
you
think
what, Eddie Murphy Raw is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, but Eddie's great. Like, because he spawned from like Richard Pryor.
Loosemore's friends with him. He just calls him Eddie.
Eddie, my pal.
Uh,
My
but
cousin Eddie.
but then yeah, like obviously there's like a lineage of like amazing black comics from like Richard Pryor in there. So
but
I
I watched Chappelle's last two shows on Netflix, and they're not funny.
I don't mind Chappelle, but I don't think these last two have been great. The
But
ones
it's like
he did-
even all the best comics in the world, they all say that Chappelle's the best.
yeah.
But I watch his stuff and like, this isn't that good.
He went away for like 12 years, so didn't he? And went to a
Yeah.
farm somewhere. Yeah. But,
A beat farm, probably.
yeah. He bought it off Russell Crowe.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I watched something there recently, but nope, it's gone. Can't remember what I was going to say.
I just watch Always Sunny on repeat, basically.
So
it would never not be funny.
I love so much the episode Hero or Hate Crime.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Just
Watch out, faggot!
look out, faggot! But then he's like, everyone knew who he was talking about, Mac.
The kid walking past
The
him,
mother
isn't
and her kid looked up.
it? It's like the stuff they do on that show, like it's so disgusting at the same time. But
I know why it's so good, because it's written so well. Like it's so stupid. You have to be so clever to write something so stupid, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense? I know that
the characters and like they're so fucking perfect and consistently perfect, and the way they act in each episode is perfectly consistent with what we know about them anyway. And
I think their acting is very good.
It's phenomenal.
It
Like,
might be the most perfect show.
Yeah, like Charlie being stupid and Frank being the most mental bloke ever.
Yeah, and Mac is super conservative, and then
but also gay.
And Dee and Dennis are super liberal. But they both represent the horrible parts of each ideology.
Yeah, and Dennis man is absolute psycho.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like the stuff they get Danny DeVito to do as Frank.
Yeah.
Like when he's in that playground naked, like with just his pants on in that for the twisty thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that. And the fucking Christmas episode where he crawls out the sofa naked.
Yeah.
It's like this man is like a legend in like Hollywood, that isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's convinced him to do this absolutely disgusting stuff. Like,
yeah.
What a show!
It truly is the very best of us.
We didn't talk much about Reddit, did we? In the end,
A fair bit.
We kind of just went off on one after everything.
I think it's been a while. We've got all this like pent up sexual tension. Yeah, storytelling. That's what I meant to say.
That's the one.
Yeah, all this pent up boxes.
But like, so whenever I ask anyone like, "Oh, what's your favorite midnight hour moments?" Blah blah blah. Like, I work really fucking hard at curating a very good, diverse show, like with lots of different, in intellectual inputs and stuff like that. What's the best moment of the show? Oh, when Jack Brown said, "I love watch." Like, yous didn't even come along until episode 19.
Is it that late?
Yeah.
No, was it 17?
19.
What was the first one we did? Was it a fake facts?
Yeah,
weird facts or whatever it was.
Blew everyone out of the water with that fucking nonsense, Jack. Yeah.
It was really weird because like I have to convince people to come on the podcast. Like anyone who doesn't, like I've lost lots of potential guests because at the last minute they were like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to this many people or whatever." Right now they're
really.
If you come on the show now, you're probably talking to about 1,200 people at a push 1,800 depending on the topic title or whatever. Back then, it was like fucking 10,000 people or something.
Yeah, me and Jack were like, "Yeah, we'll come on and talk."
Yeah, you didn't even give it a second thought, and we were so fucking comfortable doing it.
Fucking implicate myself in crimes.
I didn't even introduce you in the first fucking one. Like I was like, "All right, let's go ahead with this," and Jack was like, "Shouldn't you introduce us?" Like, "Oh yeah." It was very natural. It was a fucking great transition too, because other Jack had like vanished, and then.
That was part one of his vanishing show.
Oh man, he's done like 3 of them. He's a ridiculous human. He's just here today, gone tomorrow. You never know when you'll see him again.
You never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump.
You never know which one you're going. That's a shit film.
I don't think it's shit.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you kind of can't win that many awards and it'd be shit.
Yeah, all right.
I was gonna go with "Life is like a cum box" joke then, but I think it would work.
You never know when it's gonna mold on you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else there before. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone always tells me the best moments is when Jack Brown said something fucking stupid.
But they're not the best bits. They're just they come across the funniest, but not the best. I think.
I think it's because it's fairly natural. Like, we've clearly not done a great deal of thinking about the podcast, and then every word we say is just.
Yeah.
I also feel like
kind of
podcast
nonsense.
with just me wouldn't work as well because I need to bounce off someone.
I really regret in some senses moving the podcast to iTunes and all the other podcast platforms because people don't comment anymore, and like I really feel like if I listened to a podcast where in one episode there's an expert on AI talking about the future of the human race, and on the next episode it's all of a sudden about a cumbox. Like, I feel like that would be really puzzling to me. And yet it seems to work so well, and no one is ever like, oh, I actually don't really like the episodes that are vile and grotesque. I listen to this for the intellectual fibre of it.
There probably is people that are like, if you manage to somehow get a few where they've come off your last few podcasts where they've been normal and about a certain subject, they've subscribed to them, but then when you come across, when they see that we're in an episode, they wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah,
there must be people like that.
Yeah.
Is it like because people consume the podcast as a podcast now, not more so? Sorry, as a podcast and not via YouTube. I guess that's why.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, me and Jack said, we're both subscribed to probably about 30 different podcasts. I've never fucking commented on any of them.
No.
Yeah.
I've
never reviewed one of them.
Yeah, I never leave feedback of any kind to any podcast. Like, it wouldn't fucking occur to me at all. And sometimes I get real down. Like, I'm like, shit. Like, people don't fucking comment on this show anymore. It's really worrying. Like, should I? Like, who am I making this for? Like, will I bother? And then I look at the numbers on fucking Apple. Have this new thing where you're actually able to look at it's in beta, and it's very, very wrong. But it gives you like a rough estimate of how many people listen on iTunes, and now I'm back thinking like, actually this show is pretty healthy. It's going well. A lot of people listen. So
I thought people always knew on iTunes.
No,
or do you reckon you have to be quite a big?
No,
podcast?
there was literally no way to know. You have to pay some third-party company to crawl through every different analytics system online and eventually pump up a rough estimate for how many people listen to you on iTunes. But there's no.
But I was thinking, if you're a big podcast, how do you like get people to invest in adverts and that?
You have to show your downloads on other platforms.
Right,
Summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you can turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy. Sing along with us, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, da-da-da-da-da, yeah, we're happy. Summertime and we'll sing again. We go driving or maybe we'll settle down. If she's rich, if she's nice, bring your friends and we'll all go into town. See what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you can turn or a turn of 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. We're not great people, we're not dirty, we're not mean. We love everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go sailing in the sea. We're always happy, lives we're living, yeah, that's our philosophy.
So, how's life?
Yeah, right.
That's the most Jack thing ever.
That is the most Jack thing ever.
Burps, and then just what?
It's alright.
You never get more than the bare minimum.
Well, I'll give what I've got.
Indigestion.
Yeah.
I'm eating squashies.
Good, good.
I get some energy in me from the cracking podcast we're about to do.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We're gonna nail this one. It's gonna be like 2015 all over again.
I think we are gonna nail this one, you know?
We haven't nailed anyone.
Not this year, anyway.
Nah.
There's some rules down the side. I don't know what that is. Is that rules for life? Or
That's
just a
for
page?
specific.
I don't know.
Whatever
That's for
that's
life.
what subreddit you're on. It's not be nice to women and
Oh, man. The pre-show is way funnier than the actual show.
yeah.
But we're gonna knock this one out of the park, I think.
Okay.
I've even gone offline on Steam, so you can't see what I'm doing.
You're such a prick. Should we start? Will we start?
Let us.
Let us begin.
I mean, there is some like sad ones, like I don't want to be with my girlfriend anymore, but she might have cancer, and I feel like I need to stay. You know, oh god, that's no. Let's not go down that one.
There's some Irish ones like I speak two languages, so every time I receive a new essay,
Saw
I
that
browse
one, yeah.
the topic in my own language and translate it. So that's shit.
Would that ruin your fucking life if people found out? That's something that you
Nah.
brag about, motherfucker.
Ooh, I like that. The top one here is I once helped out my female friend's family by taking care of their cat for a week. Every day for a week, I would go over there and snoop around the house. I found my friend's diary and proceeded to read the entire thing. I used this information to get her to like me, and
Yeah.
she is currently my wife.
That's a
I
great
mean,
one.
that
That's
is
good without the weird voice you had.
Yeah, but then it got dark. Like, you know, he went round the house, and then he went through the diary, and then, like,
I don't think that would annoy me.
I don't know, because you've not connected properly, have you?
Let's
He's just
discuss it on
manufactured.
the...
Yeah. All this gold we're wasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there was always some twat who like posts all the suicide hotline and stuff.
I know,
To
yeah.
be fair, we're not going to get better than Jack saying "be nice to women," are we? Like that's peak.
It's my
That's
number
big
one rule in
podcast.
life.
Yeah. Are you ready to... We'll start in... Loosemore, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
What? You actually broke up in the middle of that, so I don't know if you said...
Oh,
Okay.
I found it.
Okay, good. Keep it.
It's the picture.
3, 2, 1, go.